Welcome to this deep dive analysis of the shifting geopolitical landscape in the Middle East. Recent developments have placed the region at a critical crossroads. As international eyes turn toward Tehran, the complexity of the current situation cannot be overstated. We are seeing a rapid evolution in military posturing and diplomatic signaling that suggests a significant departure from previous strategies. Today, we will examine the precise factors driving this escalation and analyze what the international community anticipates as the next major strategic shift. Understanding these dynamics is essential for any informed citizen monitoring global stability and the future of international relations. The current friction stems from a series of high-stakes incidents that have disrupted the regional status quo. Specifically, the recent exchange of long-range strikes has crossed long-standing red lines. With over 300 projectiles involved in a single recent engagement, the scale of direct confrontation is unprecedented. These events have moved the conflict from the shadows of proxy warfare into the light of direct state-to-state friction. We must look at the technical capabilities demonstrated during these exchanges to understand the current threat assessment and why the upcoming response is predicted to be a radical departure from historical patterns. Tehran's decision-making process is guided by a mix of domestic pressure and regional ambition. Currently, Iran maintains a defensive perimeter stretching across 1,000+ miles of influence through its various partners. However, the internal logic is shifting toward forward defense. This means engaging threats far from Iranian borders to ensure domestic stability. Experts suggest that the next move will involve a sophisticated integration of electronic warfare and traditional maritime tactics. By analyzing their current resource allocation, we see a prioritized investment in long-range precision and cyber capabilities, indicating a move toward asymmetric dominance rather than conventional ground war. Central to Iran's strategy are its four key proxy groups operating across Lebanon, Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. These groups provide a layer of plausible deniability while extending Tehran's reach to vital global choke points. Currently, these partners are coordinating at an unprecedented level, sharing intelligence and synchronized launch windows. This network acts as a force multiplier, allowing for a multi-front pressure campaign that exhausts regional defense systems. The shocking element of the next move lies in the total synchronization of these four entities, creating a unified theater of operations that challenges traditional Western containment strategies. The move that many analysts believe will shock the world involves the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is positioned to influence 15% of global trade routes. The predicted shift is not just a blockade, but the deployment of smart sea mines and autonomous swarm boats. This would move beyond simple harassment to a technologically enforced maritime exclusion zone. By leveraging these low-cost, high-impact technologies, Iran could effectively hold global energy prices hostage without firing a single ballistic missile. This strategic shift toward technological maritime denial represents a new chapter in regional power projection that the world is currently unprepared for.
The economic implications of this move are staggering. Market analysts project that a sustained disruption in the Middle East could push oil prices toward $90 plus per barrel almost overnight. This isn't just about the price at the pump, it's about the global supply chain. With 15% of trade at risk, insurance premiums for shipping have already spiked by 20% in the last month. Investors are fleeing to safe haven assets like gold as the uncertainty grows. The shock to the global economy would be felt from manufacturing in Asia to consumer markets in North America, making this a truly global crisis. As the situation intensifies, the 15-member UN Security Council has entered emergency sessions. Diplomatic channels are buzzing with back-channel communications between Washington, Riyadh, and Tehran. The goal is to establish a de-escalation ladder. However, the challenge remains the lack of direct communication between the primary actors. Mediation efforts by regional powers are focused on a grand bargain that addresses nuclear ambitions, regional proxies, and maritime security. The world is watching to see if these 15 members can reach a consensus before the predicted next move becomes a reality, potentially shifting the geopolitical balance for decades.
In conclusion, the Middle East is entering a period of high-intensity strategic competition. Iran's next move, focusing on maritime technology and synchronized proxy actions, threatens to redefine global security. As we look toward the 2024-2025 horizon, the stability of 15% of world trade and the price of energy depend on the diplomatic agility of the international community. We must remain vigilant and informed as these events unfold. The shock isn't just in the action itself, but in how it reveals the fragility of our interconnected world. Thank you for joining this educational briefing on the current state of Middle Eastern geopolitics.